In part 1 of 3 versus 1, we looked at the activity and how we could adjust the overload and the underload for the players to help in their learning by changing the field size and modification that we made that brought in continuously fresh defenders. We changed how difficult or how easy the game was for the learners. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the key references that can be introduced in 3 versus 1. The most important, of course, is being able to keep the body open. This helps with the player's ability to see the entire story and their ability to execute controlling, passing, and potentially dribbling. There's a lot to learn from this small activity, so don't go away. Hi Coach, I'm Neil Sedgwick from EpicSoccerCoach.com, where we share our experiences to provide coaches at any level of the game with new perspectives and practice activities. Now that we know the activity from part 1 of 3 versus 1, let's look at the game and the references that are being built within the game. A key part of the learning process in 3 versus 1 is that it only involves 4 players. The activity has low levels of complexity for players and for coaches, and it allows for a high number of repetitions of key references. The first point that I usually introduce within the 3 versus 1 is the player keeping their body open. By keeping their body open, the player is open to the field. The players are opening their vision by changing how they move and how they position their body. I usually ask at the first break, how can each of the attackers see more of the story when they are playing? Typically, they'll show and tell in one age-appropriate version of the answer. We will also keep our body open by letting the ball roll across our body to the farthest foot away from the passer. Now, some people call this the front foot and others will call it the back foot. So for our purposes, we will say, let the ball roll across the body. Keeping the body open and facing the whole story ensures vision remains open, and the players can place their attention on the important information within the environment. If players pass with the closest foot, then the body position changes. They often turn their body and close off part of their vision, so they're not able to see the whole story. We then move on to demonstrate how 2 players flattening out close to one another creates a 2 versus 1. This allows a third player to stay away as far as possible and not having to move much side to side to support both players at a distance. As the defender gets too close or overcommits, then the player can drop their hips and play the pass around the defender. Using short passing to draw the defender close opens up space behind the defender, and then playing the long pass to the player farthest away becomes possible. You can see how the farthest player movement is limited. We often see coaches asking players to run from cone to try to support the player on the ball, while the other 2 players stay close to their cones as well. There are no cones in the game, so we need to encourage players to create actions based on the information in the game. Players must build the next platform when the pass is played to the player farthest away. So if the player who plays the long pass moves to get it back, since they were the first player in the combination, we call them the first player platform. If the other player goes to build the platform for that player farthest away, then they're the third player involved, so they become the third player platform. After the players bounce the ball back to the player on the outside, you can see how they flatten out beside them. This opens up their body, which again opens up their vision. Well, we covered a lot in the 2 parts of how to play 3 versus 1, and I hope that you found it helpful. If you do find value in this video, please subscribe, go ahead and hit the notification bell down below, and share with a coaching colleague. And if you want more content like this, as well as age-appropriate technical explanations and practice plans, head over to EpicSoccerCoach.com. Until next time, bye for now.